I wondered if I could take this in a slightly different direction, because I noticed that we're talking about contexts of meetings within an organization quite a lot in this, and that's understandable because of the focus of this podcast. And you can imagine an organization as some kind of variation of a pyramid.
Yep.
And somewhere up the line the buck stops. And the circumstances in which I often facilitate are actually not like that. They're shaped like a ring, because I'm facilitating networks where actually it's multiple organizations, and some of them are not even incorporated. Some of them might be very loose. I work a lot in the NGO sector, in the campaigning sector.
Yeah.
And there's more of a, so one of the benefits of working in that sector is there's just a little bit more existing literacy in the participants in the meeting about things like degrees of consensus, you know, kind of like agreeing to disagree, because the importance of us working together outshines that. And the freedom that you have if you're, say, for example, an organization that's part of a network or a coalition, to do one thing with the network, with your collaborators, and to do something different independently under your own name. And you might need to have a negotiation about how much that's kind of acceptable. If you're a member of this network, how acceptable is it for you to be doing something independently? But generally, there's a recognition that actually you do the things that benefit from being a collaboration within the collaboration, and you do the things, because collaboration is really hard. It's harder than doing something alone.
Absolutely.
So you only do it when there's actually some real benefit to there being either much bigger numbers, greater resources, the ability to do. In the campaigning sector, people talk about insider outsider kind of approaches to campaigning. So are you actually an advocacy organization that works hand in glove with the people in power and use your influence that way, or are you kind of spiky organization that kind of campaigns by saying grumpy things from the outside? And both of those things can be effective in creating change. And it's recognized that different organizations have different maybe personalities or brand identities, or, you know, they have different theories of change, they have different abilities to create change, different competencies, histories, whatever. So that's a different kind of dynamic where it's possible. Actually, you do need 20 people to agree, but it may well be that they only agree about a very small amount of things, or agree close enough. As you say, you know, there's always going to be degrees of that, because they know they've got the freedom to do something independently as well, potentially, or to walk away. And the price of walking away from a coalition, if you're an NGO, is much smaller perhaps than the price of walking away if you are an employee in an organization, where you've got very different kinds of considerations that are much more personal, to do with your livelihood and your status and your career and that kind of thing.
And that's a very interesting distinction. But
I think there's something there about what the price of ultimately not agreeing is, maybe.
In the organizational context, I can instantly see the price of disagreeing would be significantly higher in a significantly shorter time frame. The consequences could become apparent much more quickly than in the networked context that you're describing there.